manifestation, and self-sabotage. These are both two words that I feel personally go pretty hand in hand with each other. From my own experience, at least, when I was self-sabotaging, I was also manifesting my own misery. The mouth is a very powerful tool. The thing I learned, especially over this last year of trying to rediscover myself as a human being and read between the lines of life, is that I'm never really focusing on the present moment. Matter of fact, there's very few times I've counted when I've kept track of how much I was actually thinking about the present moment and what I can do in this moment to make it the best moment, rather than thinking about the future or thinking about the past. What can I do to change this so this turns out this way? Or what can I do to make it so that the past doesn't seem as bad as it was? At the end of the day, that's just what it is. That happened, and this will happen. But what I'm trying to gather, and something that I have gathered, is just how much control I actually can have over how a future turns out for myself. It's a cliche saying, and it's been said many times, but it's true. All we really have is this moment right here, because you never know how long you have on this planet. Very true statement. And I think that's the beauty of living in the moment. Living in the future is something we can't do because we're not there. We don't know if we ever will be. 5 seconds from now, an hour, 25 years. It's all very true. So I can start stressing about things that are going to happen months down the line, things that have already been planned, but in the long run, how do I even know? That's not a bad thing, of course, but we never know when our time is through here. So I think making the best out of every single moment has been something I've been collectively trying to gather myself and keep up here, so that I know that every single moment is precious. And it's worked in some areas of my life. Whenever I get angry, I try to remember this could be the last moment that I'm seeing this person or doing this or experiencing this. And I do it quite often now, and I'm seeing that I'm beginning to do it more and more. And it's essentially making me stop before I speak. And I love it because it's beautiful. Because before I'd always be a loose cannon. And I didn't want to listen to anybody. I think the biggest part of stepping back and understanding this, how fragile and precious this life is using our ears too. Using the thing I've learned as well is our mouth is a very powerful tool, like I said. So what we speak out into the open, good or bad, we have now manifested a good or bad outcome. So if you get in an argument with a family member and you start saying a bunch of, or a friend or anybody you care about, you start saying a bunch of wild things and things that you don't really mean, but you're saying in the heat of the moment. I'm guilty of it too, we all are. You just manifested something out there that could completely change the course of your future with them. Leading you to start worrying about the future more because of your own personal battles you're battling. And that's when we start battling those inner demons that we have, that we start self-sabotaging. For me, self-sabotaging came in waves. It came in mental health struggles. It came in drinking. It came in a lot of different areas that ultimately changed the course of where I'd be today. But there's good in the bad still. I get to stand before a lot of people and share my experiences and share my journey as someone who has self-sabotaged. But now I try to manifest something greater than myself. Instead of self-sabotaging and using my tongue in a negative way and saying, this is terrible, I can't do this anymore, or life's unfair, or just anything negative that's going to further convince myself and give my own mind the excuse to continue that type of behavior. But instead, and I've been practicing it quite a bit, I just did it yesterday, and it actually felt really good. And it sounds like a load of crap when you hear it, but it's true. When I started using my brain to think more positively in the worst of situations, and it happened this following year with a family member of mine, a very close one that passed, and I was torn, but it was incredible to me because it was the first family member death that I was ever able to keep myself together with and actually manifest a good image in my mind, an outcome, that now that family, a loved one, is at peace. And I will see them again. There's not negative energy surrounding it for me anymore, which was a complete polar opposite of every single other situation like it. So when we use our tongue for either good or bad, it's a powerful thing. It's a very powerful tool, and it ultimately changes the course of how we look at a situation, or how our future will go. If we're so worried about the future all the time and what this is going to be like or that's going to be like, well, we manifest our own realities. When we think that these negative things are going to happen, and we say these things, and we put it out there to everybody, and this is going to be terrible, I can't do this, or I'm not looking forward to this because this is going to be so uncomfortable or so terrible. That's why. I just had a situation yesterday where I had to speak in front of a lot of people, and I was really nervous. One line someone told me that stuck with me really, really, really well, and it's ultimately changed the way I perceive this whole thing going forward now. Someone told me, you have to get uncomfortable to get comfortable. And I was like, huh, that makes sense. That's just what I've been doing. I've been speaking more in front of a lot of people, and the anxiety is still there. The stress is still there. It weighs at you. But I use the power of my tongue. I speak and I manifest beautiful things out there. I look up and I have faith that what I'm saying and what I'm doing, regardless if I do it perfectly or not, there's never going to be a perfect way to do something. But your way of doing it, if you manifest the best way of it possible, it'll all work out. So that's just what I did. And before any other time I've spoken in front of large crowds, I did pretty hit or miss. This was the first time in my life that I touched a lot of people's souls, and they thanked me for it. And I didn't plan anything out to say, not at all. I prayed before, and I went in and just started talking. And it's amazing because since I manifested good things from it, when I started speaking without knowing what I was going to say, the words just started flowing, and I didn't even know where they came from. It's incredible the power that we give ourselves and take away from ourselves. So when we don't manifest a good future, a good attitude, a good lifestyle, we begin to self-sabotage. Self-sabotaging, again, can come in many different forms. You can self-sabotage through many different things. You can drink, do drugs, hurt yourself. You can even self-sabotage by the way you speak to yourself. You can beat yourself up so bad that you begin to believe that you are this disgusting human being that you are leading yourself on to believe. You are manifesting and self-sabotaging all at once. But you're not manifesting in the correct way. The way that benefits you and helps you thrive. I'm not perfect. I don't have all the answers. I'm still learning as I go along. And I hope to find more people that share my similar beliefs and journey. It's not easy, of course. We're human beings. There's not a single person on this planet that's had it easy or can say that they have. We grow every day, we learn, and we have to give ourselves the best shot that we can. Self-sabotaging is a slippery slope, and it ends up in not a good place. You have the power, all the power, in your hands. In here, in here, in here. Utilize your tools to the best of your ability. I believe every single person can manifest a beautiful situation for themselves and a beautiful situation for others. You can also use your manifestation to help others as well. There's power in the tongue. You can help a lot of people through what you say. That's why choosing your words wisely is truly beneficial to the world. We don't get a long time here. We don't get a huge shot to make this thing work. So while we can, let's do what we can. We can't self-sabotage anymore. There's power in the mind, and the mind fuels everything else. That's where your words come from. We only get one shot. We get lucky and privileged to be able to get this shot in general. So, if you made it this far, thank you. Appreciate it. And I know you're going to have a beautiful day and a wonderful, wonderful life.